Take a listen at Captain Ibrahim Traore reveal why Burkina Faso still experiences surprise attacks in the villages and army posts, despite currently having 20 combat drones that can eliminate dozens of terrorists that are hundreds of kilometers away, in a couple of minutes. He made this revelation on June 1, 2024, as he met volunteers for the defending of the homeland, to give them encouragement and advice on how to conduct themselves, now that the battlefield is going to drastically change with the onset of the rainy season. I wanted to meet you specially today so that we could discuss your possible difficulties and also tell you about the new direction that the fight must take. There is also a need to advise yourself, to give yourself more lessons, and also to learn lessons from everything you have experienced over all this time. I've always said that when you're on a motorbike or in a vehicle, it's easy to forget and just ride. And when we ride, we are constantly in ambushes. Often, you have to walk because the enemy himself rarely comes by motorbike. Either he pushes it or he drops it somewhere and he walks. We must be able to do the same thing. Organize inside your different bases there to never be ambushed. Because there is a question that still remains unanswered, and that is how we get ambushed. We have to make an effort there. I don't agree that we were ambushed. Do you agree with me? But why we were ambushed is because we let our guard down. Because we say to ourselves that, well, here we have worked, things are going well, or we are mostly less concentrated. But I urge you never to lose concentration. When there is an attack somewhere and people are ambushed, we know. Because when people are ambushed, they call to say we're under fire. That's when they call air support to speak out. But we like to hear each other and be alerted that we see them coming. When you are not surprised and you have time to tell us that we see them coming, that allows you to take steps to fight, and also allows the drones to be able to act. I can reassure you that today, we have more than 20 combat drones in Burkina. So there's no reason for you to be ambushed. And when we say combat drones, they are there to support, and they're usually just waiting for a signal that we can see the enemy coming. But most of the time, they are not called. So, you promise me here and now that you will never let yourself be surprised again. We didn't pay for combat drones to do that. We paid for them so you can watch and tell us that, we see them, they are coming, where there is this and that. If we were going to start paying for observation drones only, which are less expensive, we won't eliminate them. So don't sleep. Come rain, come wind, don't sleep. In the rain, we don't sleep. That's why I wanted to meet you today. Because the rain has started, nature becomes green. The leaves have grown a lot in bad weather, so it's not a time of weakness. You have to stay awake in the rain. We have been hoping for a while now that people could organize themselves, go out and prune around the roads, because the path towards the dangerous mines was starting to become too much. But if we widen it a little, and the way is cleared for a couple of meters on either side, that allows us to be able to carry out other actions. You must be able to organize populations everywhere, to go out and clear the roads. And we must prune so that these ideas with direct effect cannot be posed against you or against the populations. But everyone has to get to work. You need to be able to dig trenches around your communes or villages. Of course, we say that the machines have come, but it's not all. I told you right away that it's happening all over Burkina at once. We don't have 1 million machines, but everyone has to start at home, every day. There are drones which are constantly stationed in very specific positions. They wait until we say we see them coming here. But rarely do people manage to do it. Every time we are under fire. We can't be under surprise fire, we have to see it coming. You promised me right away that you're not going to say we're under attack anymore. Will you say now we see them coming? Because I am in contact with drone pilots all the time, you wonder how I do 80% of my time. It's war, but that doesn't stop me from having to also look at our economic life. This is a promise you made to me, and I want you to keep your promise. I don't want to hear anymore that we're under attack. You'll say we see them coming. We agree, right? You will mobilize your populations to dig trenches and protect yourselves. By the time the machines arrive at your home to deepen the trenches, you'll have done it. It is you who defend the communes, the villages. If you arrive, you tell them, get out, we're digging here. The enemy must not roll or pass by there. We dig deep, we close and we settle there. Your own posts there, and at one point I had something developed, and I said I wanted to send you. Everyone spoke to you about it, the ministers of the VDPs, so that people build exemplary combat posts. Where the rain has not yet started, make the bricks, and well, build the posts. I asked for images of the different posts in certain villages, and I saw that there were some who also did it with laziness. You can't have a job, even if you built all that stuff down, and there, your head is out. How do you fight? With the image we were sent, there are loopholes. These are holes you have to fight through. And when we say to build posts, we don't have to build one or two, we have to do it all around the village. Because combat is not just one position. Others have built 3 or 4 posts, it's good for the village, right? Get the villages out, get him to build. We gave models, but tell me face to face, you know that there are many positions that have not been done. You know that, right? What do I do? Do I have to come and build it myself in your place? But if I tell you that this thing was thought of in my office, and I caught a young officer who made the 3D model and we broadcast it, and I told the various heads to ensure that this is how it's done. It's because in each and every moment, we think of you. I say that there is not a single incident of attack on a VDP post or anything that I am not aware of, there is none. Unfortunately, in some areas people refuse to access it themselves. It is incomprehensible for our own life, which you must pay. Afterwards, we still shout that there are a minimum of things that we must be able to do ourselves. I told you that most of you, like me, were born into a system, a wait-and-see system, where much is expected of others. But what are we doing for our country? That's it. That's the question we need to ask ourselves now. When I learned that, I was a little disappointed. He says that to protect yourself, you have to ask for it and you will have to have money to pay for it. Get out there and dig. There are certain communities that I followed, where I said, it's time to go out and dig. They didn't want to, they stayed. There are even some who went out walking under manipulation. And they later say, okay, we will dig. A week later they dug. Today, these communes are more or less at peace. Anyway, either the enemy comes up against your obstacle that you have created and then you have time to fight him there. If he comes to close, you have to be there. Because if you're running, that doesn't mean you have to sleep. This prevents him from being able to drive and get where he wants. And where you have to go there, you have to be there permanently. If he comes to destroy, to redo your work, you must shoot him down. But once you are surprised, you are no longer a man to regain the upper hand, it is difficult. And when we see things like that, it hurts. Even if you have a good weapon and your defense is not good, the enemy can roll up to your post. It's not good. Even if you built what you were told to build there, without putting a barrier at the front, you have to do the trenches. If he wants to roll while fighting, he has to fall in. Or he stops there, he goes down to try to cross and you have time to adjust your shots. Is that complicated? So there is work, we must not be lazy. We need to mobilize the population, It's not you on your job. All your populations must understand that you have decided to sacrifice yourself for them. So when you tell them to go out to work, they have to go out. The other day there was an attack. I followed everything. I tried to find out what happened. People were surprised. No, when you have a collective weapon, first of all you should not be surprised. You must see the enemy and prepare to confront him. Each time it was attacked. I told the pilot to go film and show me. Did they build the stations? Did they dig? No, there wasn't much, there was nothing. So, we're going to force you, and you're going to force them. It's like that now.